Started as an East Coast vibe, now I'm going worldwide. We got this bitch going crazy. I used to take the Mazda for a drive, now I'm on the 405 like it's fuck you, pay me. We really sick of standing outside, had to push them all aside. It's what you get for trying to play me. I bet they make a movie when.
Well, there you go, folks. Sorry. I'm adjusting to my Tuscan translator garb right now and everything and whatnot, and I'm learning to try to moderate effectively with it. But this is the MCU'S YouTube channel and podcast. Hats off to Cyberneticshark, my veteran content creator and YouTuber co-host, for having a wonderful green screen as usual. Hats off to all the ladies on the panel this evening for looking at their most beautiful-esque possible. Thank you very much, Nao and Jasmine, aka Naomi. What up, Jazz? You know you're jealous. You wish you had your Tuscan Raider outfit too, but maybe next time, right?
E.T.
I don't know. Jasmine's looking kind of stylish with her cap on.
Do you think, Jazz? Can we get you to do a Tuscan? Could we get you to pull off Tuscan Raider for an episode?
That looks like you're in a hazmat suit.
Yeah, that's what it's like living over in Tatooine with the same person. It's like you have to. That's exactly why they wear this kind of stuff. But anyways, folks, we're here to rock it out. We're doing our first ever in the history of the MCU's Bleeding Edge channel podcast. We're doing some Star Wars, baby. We went from Andor, now we're going to Mandalorian. We're doing Mandalorian episode 1. We're gonna break it right off. We're gonna bust off the trailer and react to her at the bat, and then launch right into the review. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a round of intros real quick and whatnot. Everybody here is basically, an established regular guest, a co-host, or just became a regular guest all of a sudden randomly because, we were broke, didn't find nobody, and Nao popped up. So I grabbed her. No, I'm just kidding. Nao, to start off with, not only, and we'll flush this out ourselves at some point, but not only actually is our first real staff member that actually helps with production and whatnot and everything, but she's a regular guest in the Bleeding Edge at this point. She's going to be rocking out the series with us and whatnot and everything. How many? We don't know. I believe there's 8 episodes, Cyber, Jasmine, in this season?
I have no idea.
8? Okay.
That's.
Go ahead.
That's the typical.
Is it usually 8? Okay, so we're doing 8 episodes. All right, so it's 2 months and 2 weeks. All right, so basically, like I was saying, the formerly known as Naomi, Nao, is here. Nao, welcome to the Bleeding Edge once again. Is this your 3rd show or your 2nd show?
Second one, I believe. I sat in with you guys on the Last of Us from last episode.
That's right. That's excellent. It's always good to be on your 2nd show. So here she is. Once again, she's looking spectacular. Jasmine's back as always. You. Oh, no problem.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Jazzy.
You know me by now.
What's up, girl? Cyber, what's up, brother? You ready to rock and roll?
You know it.
People are already busting my balls and shit and everything in the comment section, making fun of me and everything and whatnot. Sounds like I got a swarm of bees at my house. Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. Is that you, Joey? Facebook
it totally looks like, it could be considered as a bee costume, yes. As a bee catcher outfit, most
that's
definitely.
It, yeah, that's right.
It looks Tuscan to me. I'm
that guy from WandaVision that got lost in the tunnels or whatever in the beginning in the sewer. That's me. I reemerged today to moderate the show, and here I am 2 years later. What I've been doing that whole time, who knows? No, I have no idea. Either way, so I'm gonna play the trailer.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Yeah, I don't like bees very much. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of them. The bees down here in Southwest Florida are pretty nasty. If you get swarmed by them bitches, they don't play. We got all kinds of creepy crawlies down here. But yes, folks, this is of course my throwback to the Star Wars fandom out there and whatnot and everything, because I consider myself so unknowledgeable when it comes to Star Wars, except I know Andor is like one of the best TV series ever. At that point, to pay homage to all of you, I'm going full Tuscan Raider all during the series. And I also am, of course, in training to be a Tuscan translator right now in my real life. As a side hustle. I'm trying to make some side income, helping out the sand people, right? Not those sand people, folks. The other sand people. Just to be clear. Right, Cyber? We're not talking about those sand people.
What sad people are you talking about?
I'm talking about that. I'm thinking it's a throwback joke. Remember we were on Joey's show, a podcast Odyssey, and the guy in the comment section said something because I said sand people?
Yes. Yeah, not that sand people, most definitely.
No, I'm a Tuscan translator, Facebook user. All right, come on now. Aren't you hip to this shit? Come on. I'm a Tuscan translator. I'm taking Phoenix online courses to be a Tuscan translator because I don't believe that it's fair. It's not inclusive. There's not enough inclusivity with the sand people. Nobody fucks with them. They can't speak very well, right? It's not fair to them. They live in a shitty planet. There's 1,700 people living in their village with 3 huts, right? It's rough. So, I'm trying to highlight their plight. It's rough being a sand person. Jerking off with sand and everything and whatnot. I'm telling you, man. It's just not fun. But on to Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. If I can screen share through my visor. This is where I get to drink alcohol too, so I'm looking forward to this. Oh, I even got it ready. Look at that unprofessional shit. What a shot. Oh, can't even see. Hope that's it. Oh, hold on.
This is the one that you saved?
Wait a minute. Sorry about that, folks. I apologize. All right, there we go. Now I got it. I cannot see very well.
This is the one that you saved? You are as its father. A clan of 2. But you have removed your helmet. Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
Your cult fractured our people. Where were you then? Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?
Oh, shit.
All right, kid. Hang on. You ready for an adventure?
Okay. All right. Cyberneticshark, that is a very fucking effective trailer, correct?
Yeah, it's a pretty good trailer, most definitely. I think so.
Pardon me, folks.
I definitely think that it's your basic trailer for the Mandalorians. They're usually pretty decent, pretty good. They usually show quite a few good action sequences in the trailers for these 3 seasons so far. And I think it gives you a good idea of what to expect from this season of The Mandalorian too. So I think it's a decent trailer, most definitely.
Nay, and then Jazz, if you want to jump in, I just want to find my drink really quick. But what do you think of the trailer?
Well, I thought it was a good trailer for someone who hasn't watched all the episodes yet. Because I just got introduced to the show, but I thought that the trailer showed good enough for me to want to know more about what's going on. So I thought that they had fit a lot of good scenes from the show and applied it to the trailer, which was good. So, I was excited even just to watch it again. It was good.
I think it's a decent trailer. I mean, it's a typical Mandalorian trailer or Star Wars Disney Plus trailer at this point. I like it. I mean, it had me interested to come back, and as long as they have Baby Grogu, I'm happy. Literally my favorite character. Mandalorian, yes, he's fine. The voice does everything, but I'm not here for him. That's why I watched Last of Us. I'm here for the baby, the cuteness, the green. It's like watching The Grinch for the very first time every episode.
I love how they refer to him as the child.
My Tuscan translator outfit.
Yeah, I love it. Just
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, Grogu definitely is a great key to this series so far. He's been a great little asset, especially before we knew his name. You know, everyone was calling him Baby Yoda and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I mean, this first episode, you know, this season, Grogu, man, he was absolutely hilarious in this episode. So I'm very glad that they're introducing him and making him more a focal point in the series along with the Mando himself. So I think it's really awesome. But yeah. All right.
I got it, Cyber. I'm back. Now, I love the fact that I forgot about Katie Sackhoff. I did. I love Katie Sackhoff. Now, I asked Jasmine before the show if she knew who I was talking about with Katie Sackhoff when she did Battlestar Galactica. Did anybody on here besides me watch Battlestar Galactica from the 2000s?
I did. I was obsessed. Okay. I was introduced to it 2 years ago and I could not stop. So when I finally reached like the end, I was mad.
Well, then why didn't you tell me that earlier? What did you think I was talking about? The original one?
No.
I asked you earlier if you watched the Battlestar Galactica.
Oh,
you asshole. Okay, no wonder. This is why Jasmine cracks me up. I'm telling you right now, everybody out there. She is a pain in the ass. I tried to engage with her about this earlier tonight, date everything and whatnot, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or whatever, you know, like. Anyways, I love that show. I thought that I live and die. I've watched that. I probably watched that whole series like 5 times altogether, like in the last since it came out and I finished watching it. I've rewatched it.
Riddick too. She was in the last Riddick movie, and she pretty much was the same character. If you really think about it, from Battlestar Galactica, she's basically the same character. I feel like as an actress, she's the same character across all media. She's kind of that tough.
No, I think she's more talented. I think, yes, that I would agree on. But Cyber, I know you watched Battlestar Galactica, right?
No.
You didn't watch it?
No.
Okay. Did you catch it, Nay?
No.
Oh, you still got that audio delay. That's why there's that little bit of that pause or whatever, whatnot. But that's okay. I know everybody already has a crazy list of things that they've got to watch and everything and whatnot, but I swear, I mean, unless I'm tripping, I promise, if you go back and watch that, whatever that was, and I think what was it? When did it come out, Jazz? At the end of the 90s and early 2000s? Yeah, it's really good. It was a really good show. It really was. It was pretty solid. Had a pretty good cast. And she played Starbuck or whatever or whatnot in the show, I think, or something like that. She was like the top jet fighter out of the Battlestar Galactica. But either way, as far as the trailer goes, even I have to admit that like the scene from the episode 1 that where like Grogu like crawls over into like Mando's lap and everything, and they cuddle and shit and everything in hyperspace was dope. Like even I found that to be like kind of tight and everything and whatnot, you know, and tight not in like a, you know, bleeding edge way, but like more of a, you know, light way. No, I don't like Baby Yoda that much. I won't lie. I was hoping that Baby Yoda was going to die at the end of season 2, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. And so at that point, I'm happy with how they did with Grogu in the first episode. What, Jess? What do you want me to say? I'm not going to lie about it. Grogu doesn't do that for me. All right, like, you know, what do you want me to tell you? Grogu was good in episode 1 though. I think everybody would agree on that, right? Are we unanimous on that, folks? That Grogu was well done. Like he was very, very good.
Was there was that when that monster or whatever was that creature was trying to go after Mando, and then the creature just started elevating out of nowhere, and then it cuts to the camera being on Grogu, and he's like doing that thing with his hands like a Jedi. Was that a scene in episode 1?
No, I don't think so. No, because that wasn't in episode 1 when the gator in the intro. That's a good way to start to bring in the intro.
I think she's referring to the first episode of the show because she said she was watching it. So I think
I'm referring to the first season.
Oh, the first season
when he first took him in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Well,
yeah. Remember, I was watching episode 1 today.
No, he has Jedi powers and everything and whatnot. He does. That's why in season 2 they train him and everything and whatnot. Right. They put him with Luke Skywalker and everything and all that and whatnot. He has the powers. But no.
I just thought it was kind of cool because he kind of did that, and kind of defended him from the creature while he was fighting the creature. So he was a good asset in that scene.
Yeah, no, most definitely. But no, typically, Nate, when we do these episode reviews, the way that we flush them out usually is like, at least on this one, we're gonna try not to jump ahead too far or go backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna just stay in real time. So like we're gonna start off, for instance, with the fact that the trailer was dope, I thought, and we do get that intro scene where at the new Mandalore or whatever you want to call it, where they get that fucking gator monster thing or whatever. That was awesome. The dinosaur deal or whatever. That thing was fucking great. And like all the Mandalorians were there. It was awesome. And they're doing like an induction ceremony and whatnot with like a young Mandalore kid. And you see him like, they're putting together his helmet and everything and whatnot and all that.
More like a baptism.
Like a rite of passage or whatever and whatnot. And
like a rite of passage, yeah.
Yeah, I forget who that person is or whatever. That actually, if that's a high priestess or what that is or whatever, whatnot, that actually reads the rites or whatnot and all that to the child. But that alligator monster pops out, and that thing did look to me like a dinosaur. Like that's the first thing I thought to myself was like, I bet there was probably some kind of creature like this back in the day that looked something like this. Like in real life, like probably there was something like this. That thing had to be at least like, I don't know, over 100 yards long, if not 150 yards long, and like probably like, I don't know, 40 or 50 yards straight up and down, all the way from like the bottom of his head to the top of his head. That thing was massive. And so it was awesome. They started right off with the battle scene, and some of the Mandalorians had some really cool gear and shit and whatnot. Some of them had some cool zappers, I thought, and whatnot and everything. And of course, Mando comes in with the ship, and you're like, who's that? And there's Mando, and there's fucking Grogu, and they take that bitch out. So, Jasmine, starting with you, how about that introduction, baby? That shit was dope, huh?
I thought it was a great way to show us more about their lore and more about their traditions, because over time we've been getting little hints and backstory about it throughout the series, but it was nice to finally get like a real kind of like a religious little backstory kind of thing with them actually bathing these kids. And you got to see some kids actually like try to fight, or at least the new one. I thought it was really interesting. That monster was very prehistoric, which was really cool. And like, how do you not know there's a monster in the water? Like, you're just going like, I'm gonna bathe these kids in this water religiously, eaten by Croc. Like, come on. But I thought it was really interesting just to see how everything was going for them, and just seeing them all fight and like showing how they protect their younglings, and they also, protect each other, and no man left behind. It gives me very much the military we have now, without the judgment, except for the fact that you can't take off your helmet, which would make sex very impersonal. I'm just saying. But no eye-to-eye contact, I guess. helmet to helmet. But for the most part, I thought it was really cool. I liked watching, Grogu and Din Djarin, in the ship come in and like have that music play the moment they came in to shoot the thing down. I thought that was really cool. And them cuddling was adorable too. I thought that was adorable.
Well, now that is of course right after when essentially you're skipping ahead a little bit. I'll address it in just a second, but
they cuddle all the time.
They do, but it's when they're leaving. It's when they're leaving.
I didn't go ahead. I didn't say when they were cuddling.
It's after they talk to the armorer. We'll talk about that in a second. But Cyber, what'd you think? What'd you think of the monster? They did a good job with that, huh? Good digital effects, right?
Great way to start the episode. Amazing, fantastic. The dinosaur creature, alligator, whatever you want to call it, was freaking bombastic. It was so amazing. I was like literally sitting in my seat going, I want more. I want more. This was so freaking awesome. And I absolutely loved that whole sequence, seeing all the Mandalorians fighting and stuff like that. Basically almost some of them getting eaten. A few of them did get eaten. A few of them almost drowned and stuff like that. And I just thought that was a really great way to start this season and start this episode. And the visual effects were so well done in the sequence. I totally thought, the creature was real. I thought that they put Boku bucks into making this creature to look as realistic as possible. I definitely feel they gave the level of a Star Wars movie to the digital effects for this episode. So very, very strong, great way to start this episode.
Yeah, most definitely. And then you can close it out on this one. Cyber's right. I think that if you think about it, you're not going to see a creature like that digitally portrayed any better than that. I don't think you could do any better than that with that. That was really well done. And it was a great intro. Like it was a great setup for like the first episode. I felt like because a lot of other TV series we reviewed, you hear a lot of people that do drop out after like the first episode or the second episode because they're bored or whatever, right? Or there's not enough action or whatever, whatnot. Well, they started you right off the bat and they threw us action right in the jump, like right within the first 5 minutes, along with some kind of, like Jasmine said, like some background stuff too. So, what did you think of the whole intro and whatnot? And what did you think of like whatever you want to call it, the crocodile creature or whatever?
Well, I think that the monster was done very well. Like I almost believe that it was real or that it could be real. So I think as far as the visual, it worked out for me. Like it was appealing. It made me want to watch and see what's going to happen next. And like in that scene, it was also interesting how everything just kind of stopped. And then like you hear a little bit like a grumbling, and then they already knew that it was coming. So I think that says a lot about that, and knowing that they were already on alert. So it was good to see how in sync they have reacted when they had to defeat the monster. So I thought that scene was very well done. And like you said, the scene where Mando comes in with the spaceship, that made me even want to watch it even more and see what's going to happen next. Because I honestly didn't know it was going to be a show. But I don't know what else to say watching this. Everybody was trying to battle on it, and like you said, some casualties happened, but overall, when you cut into the next scene when he's talking to how you said was the priestess, going into what his mission was coming in, scene. So I love it.
Okay, definitely. You honestly, you might want to consider dropping in and out real quick, Naomi, because your audio is a little choppy. and I want to be able to hear you when you contribute and whatnot and everything. We couldn't hear everything that you were saying there a little bit here and there. Just drop out and drop back in and see if that does anything for you. Can you hear me? Oh, anyways. Anyways, sorry about that, folks. So basically, as I believe that sort of like we all kind of alluded that, to some extent other than Cyber, we do get a scene right after that. The episode flows really quickly. There's really is no lull, I don't think, at all in it. Like there's pretty much always something going on. Like, by the time like the scenes wrap up, they're back in the ship and they're traveling. You know what I'm saying? Like they're on their way to their next destination or whatever and whatnot. And that's pretty much how it goes. It's very fast running. I believe it's 38 minutes long. It might be longer than that with the credits, but I believe that the episode itself is 30 minutes long. I thought it went by really quick. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. And basically it picks right up with the finale of season 2 in terms of the fact that we know that Dejin has revealed that he's unmasked himself. So at that point, essentially he's no longer a Mandalorian, and the only way for him to restore his Mandalorian ship or whatever, whatnot, or like, get himself back on the path and all that shit, is to basically, I guess, bathe or something, or be cleansed by some type of, I don't know, underground streams or something like that or whatever on Mandalore, which has of course been like glassed to go, if you want to like, use like a Halo term or whatever, whatnot, it's been like crystallized and whatnot. I believe I'm assuming by like, the Empire. But if you remember correctly, though, Mando doesn't believe that like the planet is completely dead or whatever, right? And that's where Katie Sackhoff's character comes in too, because if you remember correctly, also like at one point she talked about wanting to have an expedition back to Mandalore. Nobody's been there. Well, at that point, Mando goes and he talks to the armorer. The armorer and him go back and forth, and basically he shows her a piece of crystal from Mandalore that he says he got from a friend, whatever, from a smuggler or whatever, whatnot, that he feels indicates that there should be more further exploration, of at least Mandalore, at least see what the hell's going on there. And at that point, basically, they end, the conversation ends how they typically end. What is the saying? So is the way or whatever, or come on, help me out here, guys.
This is the way.
This is the way. That's what the armorer said. This is the way. That's exactly what she said. And the armorer is Emily Swallow, which is a great name. If she ever decides to get into Skinemax, she won't have any trouble with her name. She can just go with her name. Just the last name. Right, Jazz? There you go. Anyways. So, folks, so from there, we get the armor conversation. And you like that, Cyber? Anyways, after we get the armor conversation, right?
Especially with your, Tusken Raider outfit on, it makes it just priceless.
Maybe I'll start wearing costumes for all the shows. We'll have to see. Anyways, so basically at that point, it's on, like, we get, of course, I'm sitting here, because I'm so focused on my Tusken Translator classes at Phoenix Online University, I'm actually looking at the outline for fucking Echo, Phase 5 and Phase 6, man. Look at that shit. That's not going to help me out very much with this. Damn. There you go. That does not work. Anyways. Oh, there we go. All right. That sounds more like Star Wars. All right. So, after the Gator creature gets dispatched and we get the armor conversation, whatnot, and all that, essentially, we do get that really dope shot where they're in, I think, hyperspace, and Mando, Baby Yoda's chilling and like kind of starts getting scared. I think a little bit, and you see Baby Yoda like come curl up with Mando, and they kind of cuddle and whatnot and everything. It is kind of sweet. How you doing, hon?
Hey, how do I sound?
You sound good.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good. Good job. Way to go, kiddo. Yeah, and you didn't miss anything. I promise. Only like only the best jokes of the whole episode, but that's it.
Oh man,
that's okay though. I'm sure there'll be more later. Don't worry. No. So, anyways, basically, at that point, we do get the cute Grogu with Mando cuddling scene and whatnot, and everything. Like Mando is kind of like his dad and whatnot and all that kind of. And at that point, they head over to essentially what is, I believe, like a free trading hub. And Mando and Baby Yoda, they go in and there's like a digital voice. And they go to what's it called? Let's see, Navarro. We go to Navarro, of course, where his friend, who he says that's what he's there for, to see his friend, of course, is Grief Karga, who is the wonderful Carl Weathers, who was in the original Star Wars films as I always struggle with this name. He was
Carl Weathers was not in the original Star Wars. You're thinking of Lando
Calrissian.
That was Billy D. Williams, not Carl Weathers.
I'm sorry, that was Billy D. Williams. I apologize. No, Carl Weathers was in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what he was in. I'm sorry about that, folks. There we go. Now I got it proper. Either way, he was
also in Rockies too as Apollo Creed.
That's right. He was. He was really good too. So basically, I thought this was really great. Actually, this is one of my favorite parts of the episode. Was the scenes where we get dialogue and everything and whatnot, and we get the scenes with now Magistrate Karga, where essentially he's like really upbeat and like really like hyper personal, and he's basically wanting to he's not trying to sell anything necessarily to to Mando. He's like telling them like, hey, we've got some good shit going down. Like we've got like the construction is booming here. There's money to be made here. Like I'll set you up right now with like a perfect plot of land. And you and Grogu can just chill and fucking like eat off your land and shit and whatnot and kick it. Like you got to hang up your laser or whatever, whatnot, and get after it. Take off your helmet and chill and whatever, experience that whole life, without a helmet on type deal. And from there, of course, Dijin, in his usual, like sort of humble and like respectful way, explains to him that they're there for business. And that he's still on his mission. It's not over, essentially, because of the end of Boba Fett. And so at that point, basically explains to him that he needs to get the former bot, that basically wanted to kill, Baby Yoda in the first season. I believe the bot, the robot's name is what, KG-11 or whatever, or IG-11, ends up telling him that he needs that. But after they have a skirmish with a bunch of like really fucking weirdo looking alien like thugs or whatever that want a drink, like right in front of Karga's school or whatever, whatnot. And we get this awesome, like, Clint Eastwood Western standoff type deal where, like, Carl Weathers pulls his shit to the side just like this and shows his laser and whatnot and everything. And they have a standoff, shoots the guy's gun out of his hand. The Jin steps in and, like, blasts four of the dudes and whatnot. And the one pirate dude gets to walk away alive. And then they talk about the whole robot thing and whatnot. He says he needs them. The Jin needs them and whatnot and everything, and feels like he's necessary for him to be able to go scout or navigate going to Mandalore. So starting with you at this point, kind of turning things around this time, Nay, and then I'll go to you, Jazz, and over to you, Cyber. What did you before we get to the part where they actually tried to resuscitate the droid, what did you think of that part of the episode? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Did you enjoy the dynamic between I guess the two actors or the two characters as much as I did?
Yeah, they definitely seem to have established like a kind of like a bond of trust. and he did offer him a place to stay. And considering the fact that Mando was also kind of shunned from his people, he could have easily taken him up on the offer to move over there and just live a settled life, But he's so gung-ho about this mission that he has to go and redeem himself, so that was an interesting dynamic to also see, where he has options, but he's choosing to, walk his own path, so to speak. So then, and just like how you mentioned that scene where they had that kind of Western standoff thing going on, I thought that was really cool. And he just kind of like, I don't know, like the Mando character, he's just kind of like, just chilling, just spectating and seeing what's going to go down. But the fact that he actually stepped in and also, joined in on the little gunfight, that was pretty cool to see too, you know. So yeah, I like that scene a lot also.
Well, Jazz, I think it's pretty well established, isn't it, that like Mandalorians are not to be fucked with?
Yeah.
Like, you're right. Isn't that kind of the deal?
Yeah.
Jazzy.
Yes, sorry. I was clicking, but it wasn't clicking. Okay, yes, totally. It's very much how they are. I've noticed that throughout all the series and even Book of Boba Fett. And it was funny that they even tried it with him there, because I kept seeing the leader looking at him like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, but his stupid ass was like, get him, and then they died, and he's like, well, damn. And not, oh wait, we're not at that part yet, but the fact that they even had that little Western standoff with that Mandalorian there is like the dumbest thing you could do. You never have more than one person with you against the Mandalorian. Like, he ain't gonna take all you suckers out. Like,
he's like Batman,
acting like they be sitting there like this and shit. Like that thing has a clutch in the back. Like, it don't have a clutch, motherfucker.
He's like Batman. He's like Batman, Jazz. Batman's always got to fight at least 7 or 8 motherfuckers at once. He can't fight one dude. It's got to be at least 8.
True.
Anyway, so Jazz, did you like the reemergence or whatever, if you want to say it, I guess, of the Carl Weathers character? Did you like seeing him having, like, do you think he was a good part of the episode?
I think he's fun. I think it's interesting seeing him. I really wish I get. I kind of want Lando to show up. Like, I'd rather have that character, completely honest, because the hype for the show would be like sky high more than it already is if they had like actual people from, the Star Wars later movies, because it'd be cool. Like, I get it that we're not there yet and we're somewhere different in the timeline, but I mean, still though, find somebody, Clone Wars, something, kind of like.
Well, I'm a part of the Star Wars universe. I'm a Tuscan translator, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm now a part of the Star Wars universe. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I am. If you think about it, like, I'm now a part of the extended Star Wars universe in my role.
Oh.
So, there you go. You're, I'm actually like, I'm officially Star Wars at this point, right, Cyber?
Not Cyber.
I'm certified, baby. I'm certified. I'm going to get my own certification as a Tuscan translator. So, Cyber,
you are already certified.
Cyber, my friend, what did you think of this? I guess what you could say probably took up like a third of the episode, if not longer, like this whole little deal that I'm talking about before they actually try to reassemble the bot, because things kind of pretty much just wrap up at that point. So, I mean, what did you, take your time with it? I love the dynamic and the chemistry between the two actors. Personally, I think that they've been great throughout the different seasons too.
Yeah, I mean, this section of the episode was fun. It definitely had, of course, a little bit of a downtime there, but I don't think it didn't do any harm to the episode. It actually still kept the pace pretty well, even though it was kind of a little bit of a slow pace there. But at the same time, it was great seeing Carl Weathers again reprise his character. We got to see him more. We got to see him kind of like in action, kind of what he's been up to, kind of what his, thinking process has changed from the last time we saw him, and kind of what he's done with Navarro too, and kind of like what he's trying to do. Him having kind of that standoff with the pirates is a really great sequence too as well. But the whole sequence is really fun because there's those great moments, like Jazz said, where Grogu and Mando are cuddling a little bit. Every time we saw him up inside the upper chamber where the droid's supposed to go in the spaceship, the Naboo fighter, and then all of a sudden he'll be right in front holding on to Mando, and it's always so much fun seeing Mando and him kind of interacting, because they have such an interesting bond that they've created throughout the last 2 seasons up to this season. And, you can see that it's drawn the writing for the episode, and, probably throughout this whole probably season, we're probably seeing how much that has changed from when they first met to or where they're at this point. And, why Mando took off his helmet to show his face to, Grogu and stuff like that back in the last season. So, there's a lot of development in this little section too as well, kind of showing us kind of where they're at, along with, seeing this great kind of representation of, Carl Weathers' character and kind of where he's at. And I thought that they did a really good job with this section and kept it flowing really well and kept it very entertaining.
Yeah, me too. I would agree 100%. I think that and I think that it's as usual. I think that the writing was really good in this episode. Especially I thought that the dialogue was really snappy and really solid as usual. There was no drop off at all for me, at all in this episode. If you want to go back, I did go back and watch half of the finale of season 2 earlier, just to kind of refresh myself with how things unfolded, you know what I mean, and be able to connect over into this episode better, right, and be able to kind of maybe feel more of whatever you want to call that kind of inner shift or that interchange when you do jump from season to season on a show, right? Now of course we don't know how much of a time delay. I don't think there really was one here. I think what we're seeing basically is we're seeing Mando right after, coming right off the finale of season 2. I don't think a lot of time has passed. I don't think a year has passed or whatever. I think it's everything. Just like the episode, everything's pretty fast paced in the series. Did you before we get now? Of course, as I mentioned, they wrap up their conversation about this former bot, IG-11 or whatever, whatnot. That again was a mercenary bot, right? That Mando had to kill at one point and everything and whatnot because it wanted to kill Grogu. So, honestly, to tell you the truth, why they even thought it was going to be possible to put it back together and have it not want to do that again, I don't know. I was kind of wondering about that a little bit, but either way, Karga introduces them to I think he calls them not the Unsullied from the Game of Thrones, but the I don't know, whatever the fuck this handwriting says, the Unsellers, who fucking knows, whatever. There's a bunch of these fucking little tiny fucking weirdo looking things. I don't know, they're monkey looking fuckers or whatever, funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? They come popping out, whatnot, everything. Whatever. They pop out. Fucking. They're like the little dudes on Willow, but even funnier. You know what I'm saying? Willow was so these fuckers could have really helped Willow. They would have been a good addition. They could have brought these dudes in, whatever they were. So, of course, Karga says, this is actually funny as shit. I found this whole fucking thing funny as shit when Karga is trying to translate for these fucking alien things or whatever, whatnot, to Mando, because he's pretending Mando's that he can't understand them, and they're just speaking broken English. They're saying things it not fixed, it broken, and shit like that. You know what I mean? No fix, no friend, no more. All this shit, whatnot. You know what I mean? Friendship over. You know what I'm saying? or whatever. They're saying shit like that and whatnot, you know, and get new bot, you know, buy a new one, whatever. I'm sorry if folks my if my pronunciation, and I apologize if I've assaulted whatever race of Star Wars alien creature that was that or the show and whatnot. I apologize. I don't want to get sued here or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, who knows what kind of rights these fuckers, these little bastards have? You never know. But does anyone remember what they were called?
No.
And they are called the Anzellan crew.
Oh, the Anzellan. Somehow I got it almost on my line. It almost looks like unassholes. That's what it almost looks like. I swear to God, unassholes. But that's just that's you see my handwriting before they. So like, Cyber can somehow read it. Somehow I don't know. He translates my handwriting while I translate for the Tuscans. But so no, it's funny as shit. They basically they come to the, like, long story short, they explain to him that the memory chip is destroyed. It's fried or whatever, whatnot, and everything, right? And you can't get a new one. And this is where, like, the part where freaking Carl Weathers is like doesn't do the translating. And I thought this shit was funny as hell, because Mando obviously can understand what the hell they're saying, and he just keeps on translating over and over again, like, anyway. But those things were funny, man. That actually did, I found entertaining. And so they do manage to turn it on without the memory chip. I think that was basically the gist of it. They just turned it on without it. And so, of course, what did it do? Half of it, like in pieces, it tries to kill Grogu. Then it actually ends up being like a real like threat for a minute. Like they've got to put him down. Like basically just blast him. And I think that's basically the end of it. Like they basically decide not to fuck with him at that point.
Technically, that was it attacking Grogu was before they went down to the handyman, because the handyman were had to deal with the fact that the robot squished the other robot's face in. And that's why they were saying it's broken. You can't do anything with it now.
Oh, okay. You're right. So bottom line, if I remember correctly, that was pretty much it. Like that for IG-11, like that, there was no resuscitation to be had once they just blasted the thing to death, as far as I could tell. And at that point, besides the, those funny little characters, whatever, whatnot, after the little shootout, we end up with Mando basically teaching Grogu how to fly, which was cute. They're back on the ship. Everything's very, very quick in this episode. It's very quick pace. There's no fucking around. They go right to the next like deal. And as they're flying, he literally says to him, "Oh, and this is like the pirate radar or whatever." And here comes fucking Zip Face or whatever, whatnot from earlier, the pirate dude that wanted to drink and all that shit or whatever, with his pirate buddies and whatnot. And we do get like a pretty solid space fight. With like, and I think even Grogu even like was manning the gun, the turret and shit, whatnot, a couple times, and was like fighting and was blasting and shit too, which was pretty dope. I didn't realize Grogu got down like that, but like obviously he does. So props to Grogu on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I still think it would have been cool if he would have died at the end of season 2, but I will give him props though for the getting involved in the gunfight though. Good on you, Grogu. But so basically, the space fight was pretty solid. I mean, again, it was well done. Like, I'll leave it to y'all to like, evaluate how well you thought it played out as far as like how well they shot it, how the effects were and whatnot and everything. But I thought it looked awesome. About as good as you probably could get on a TV series. I think you can't really ask for much more than what I think they gave us. It ends up being kind of like a stalemate. Like they fight back and forth and whatnot and everything. And then kind of like Mando evades them. Right. And like he kind of like bails, but there's quite a few of the pirates. Like the whole team is there. So Cyber, I know you love like open space battle and stuff like that and whatnot, and spaceship type battle and whatnot and all that. Mm-hmm. Was that did that do anything for you? How did that translated?
Oh, that was very fun. A very fantastic sequence there where he's fighting the space pirates. And I thought it was kind of fun because I liked how they had it where he just kept like hiding and then coming out of nowhere, taking out the different ships and stuff. That was really cool. I liked how they really emphasized the look of the asteroids, the look of the planet, look of just everything in space. They once again they put that Boku movie bucks into the CGI for this episode and just did a really fantastic job. And that just whole sequence was really fun, really enjoyable. And I thought it was action packed and fun, especially at the end, as Mando is like after he has stopped the like 4 of the ships, and the one guy that got away down on Navarro got away. They come into the big ship and he's talking to the captain, who kind of looks like Davy Jones' locker, or Swamp Thing, or a seaweed.
Yeah. Good call.
Basically he, their conversation was really interesting, and then all of a sudden he just goes for warp speed and beats it the hell out of there. It was just like so freaking awesome. Really fantastically done. Really enjoyed it.
Well, okay. It looks like there's different reports, but it looks like the budget for season 3 was somewhere between 100 million to 120 million. So 12.5 million to 15 million per episode was what it ended up costing them, which I think is pretty solid if you think about it. I mean, you're talking about 3 films worth of like video, like of content, basically, right? For 120 million dollars, that's not bad. Like, or 2 films, whatever you want to call it, whatever it would typically be. But Cyber, what about the little characters, the little creatures, the little mechanics or whatever and whatnot, and their whole deal and whatnot and everything? That actually was pretty funny, wasn't it?
Oh, that was super funny, especially when Grogu tried to keep taking one. That was absolutely hilarious, trying to hug one. That I was cracking up so hard, because I was just like, what the hell, Grogu? What are you doing? Like, stop trying to hug the little alien guy that's trying to work, I'm like, I get it. You want to show affection. It's okay. You can do that, but not right this second. This guy's got to do some work. And just how the alien guys talked was really funny, too, because it almost made me kind of think of like other characters that have spoken like that in other like fantasy films and stuff like that. Maybe think of Labyrinth a little bit. Maybe think of like other Muppet movies and stuff like that, where there's characters that sounded very similar to that. And I just thought they were absolutely freaking hilarious, especially how they were talking, and where Mando really isn't able to understand them a little bit, but then it's like Carl Weathers' character is like trying to translate, like you were talking. That was pretty funny, where like once Mando got into it, he's like, oh, okay, I can understand them now. But Carl Weathers keeps telling him, it's like, yeah, I got that. Yeah, thank you. It was like super funny. That whole sequence was just pure comedy, which was really well done. And the punchlines and just the comedy element in the sequence was all timed very perfectly. And that shows really good writing. And I think Favreau did a good job with the writing in this episode.
Well, also, though, too, Jasmine, doesn't it also point out to Mando himself and Pedro Pascal, because the humor doesn't work without him. You know what I'm saying? Like, without the way that he reacts and the way he delivers his lines in these scenes, right, where he is Mando, like he is like fucking Dijin. He's a Mandalorian. He is very flat and like very like stark and like not very. He doesn't laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So at that point, he has to. If he doesn't play his part right in these scenes, the humor is not going to work. Is my point. Do you see where I'm going with that? Would you agree with me on that?
I think in majority of the time when it comes to characters, especially Mandalorians, it has to do with the fact that we're not really getting a face profile. We're just getting a helmet. So it's all about the voice and the tone in which you use the voice. So it's that relays anything to us. And so the humor is really subjective depending on the person. But what I love about Pedro Pascal's, his deliverance with his voice is superb. He's able to deliver humor without needing to have his face revealed. So I kind of enjoy the fact that he's actually going on this crusade because of the fact that it means we won't see his face again, meaning that we can continue to see how versatile he is as an actor.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I assume you probably, did you laugh your ass off throughout that whole time, the whole scene with the little mechanic people and shit and whatnot?
I love them. Oh my God. And the fact that Grogu kept trying to hug them, I was thinking of hugging them. So when Grogu did it for me, I was so happy. I was like, yeah, Grogu, you're me. We're like this. We're like this. And they were so adorable. It really brought me back to the Jim Henson days, where we had the actual puppets for Star Wars and not just CGI. So it's nice to know that they're still keeping to that tradition with the Star Wars universe and keeping with the puppets and a little bit more practical effects when it comes to certain characters and certain elements in the world, which is really nice because there's too many full stage CGI these days, and it's really just refreshing that they're still keeping this, and we have to just give them the credit for it, because I know damn well that woman who was the reason why we had that last Star Wars movie for the shitty movies after sequels.
Are you talking about the ones with Rey?
I hate her, and not her as a character, but how her story is relayed throughout it. Like, they killed Han Solo, they killed Luke. Like, had any of these people read a book?
Well, how do you know that? I mean, you get mad when I make fun of Brie Larson and everything, Captain Brie and whatnot, and everything. How do you know that Rey's not my? How do you know that Rey's not my hero?
I have my issues with Captain Marvel as well. So I tease you. I don't really care. Okay. The movie is shit. Let's be honest. The movie is shit.
Cyber. She admitted. She admitted it.
It's also a fun movie. It has its issues, but for the most part, I do really love Mando and Baby Yoda, and the fact that those sassy mechanics were just being sassy with those comebacks, and not the black man outside the hole peeking in and constantly repeating what it's not like they're speaking a different language. They said this. They said that. Like, bruh.
So do you have anything to add on the little like pirate deal where the pirates come back and everything and they chase Mando and then we get like that short in space kind of fighting scene?
I loved it. It brought me back to the prequels because of the ship, and it brought me back to the prequels with the starship, with the battles. And the pod racing, it gave me so much feels for my childhood, because that's what I grew up on. And also it was just really cool just to see him like stealthily look like, if only they just, instead of doing his theme song, did the shark song from Jaws, dunna 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 dunna, because every time he took somebody out and they showed up for like 2 seconds and was going behind objects, it was giving me very much Jaws. It was awesome. I very much enjoyed it. I think they did a really good job with that sequence. I enjoyed them taking out the pirates because they were getting on my nerves. He just took out the rest of your crew. You really thought you were going to corner him?
Were you getting that? Were you getting that Swamp Thing vibe off that one motherfucker like me and Cyber were? I swear to God,
the way I looked at him and I was like, "What the hell is that grassy knoll that looks like it was underneath the bridge? Like, what is this?"
He was a combination of Swamp Thing and that fucking guy from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 from the Ravagers.
And not him Yoda walking, talking about if you surrender, we will let you live. And I loved how he said, "Here's the lesson, child. Never trust pirates." And then, phew.
All right.
That was cool.
Thank you, Jazz. Now, again, I'm trying to get used to this. The Neo change on me. You really fucked me up with this. I'm calling you Nay because it's like a natural thing for me. But Nay, closing it out on these scenes, right? You basically know. I already asked everybody else and whatnot. What are your thoughts on, now that you've heard Jazz talk and Cyber talk and everything and whatnot, about that whole, I guess I'd say, I don't know, maybe like not even a third of the episode that we get there, right before we kind of get almost like, I guess, the ending of the episode, where he goes and sees Katie Sackhoff and whatnot and all that. What did you think of that? Did you, I'm sure you probably laughed your ass off, right? With the little monkey people or whatever the fuck they were?
I did. Like the dialogue was funny, but just the reaction on their faces was funny too. Like when Grogu was trying to grab at that little guy and he's just kind of looking at him with a side eye, like, get away from me. Like he looked like he was genuinely like, gasping for his life. But that was a really funny scene. And sorry, that was a real funny scene. And I also liked the part where they at first they tried to fix the bot and then it attacked Grogu, and then in defense of Grogu it kind of like was trying to attack them too, I guess. So he had to shoot at it, but it was also like funny, you talking about the comedic tone. It was also funny when that other robot came and kind of like smushed it with the statue or something. And then Mandalore says, "That's a good way to put your head into it," or something like that. It was like a pun that he had. So I thought that scene, that moment was pretty funny too.
I actually said that to a chick last night too. That same thing. I was like, "That's the way to put your head in there, baby." Anyways, go ahead.
So yeah, I thought that was funny too, because like Jasmine said, you don't see his facial expressions, so you have to rely on the tone of his voice and his dialogue to kind of find what he's saying funny. So it was just kind of like he has like, you can tell he's kind of like the guy in the room that's like, haha, very funny guys, you know what I mean? But that was a good few funny scenes, and I definitely laughed. So it was entertainment. It was entertaining to watch.
Now this is actually, now I think this is interesting. We talked about this before on here. Cyber knows, has experienced this many times. Jasmine, you're getting used to this. We do have people on when we do these reviews of different TV series where sometimes maybe like we cover the MCU and we'll have people on like reviews for like the Hawkeye Disney Plus series where they've never seen anything really Marvel wise, but maybe 2 films or something. Yeah. And we'll just bring them in anyway and like let them cover it, whatever, whatnot. Well, basically Naomi is working her way through the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, and I'm sure she'll probably run right through them just because I did. Yeah. And if I could grind right through them, then I'm sure she'll have no problem with it. But Jasmine, I know you saw the first 2 seasons. Cyber, I know you watched them. I've watched them. Going into this for you specifically, did you feel like the episode really like delivered for you or whatever, or like did it draw you in?
As somebody who's never really watched the show before, and starting from that episode, it was enjoying. And you guys mentioned about the little guys being like the Muppets and stuff. I was thinking Men in Black also, like the little aliens in the Men in Black film. Yeah, they're all kind of like zany and funny looking and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah, so
I was getting Mario and Luigi.
Mario,
they were drunk. The drunks. You're talking about the wormy drunk guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
those guys.
Those guys. Yeah.
Those are pretty funny.
Basically, that's what I got too.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy the I guess the shootout with the pirates or whatever in space and whatnot? Did that visually do anything for you? Did you feel like it was well done?
Yeah, I did. I was watching to see what was gonna happen next, like because the guy, the grassy, mossy dude that you guys were talking about, he was just like, surrender your ship and I'll let you live. And it's like, okay, and what exactly are they gonna do? They're gonna be prisoners on the ship? Or are you gonna take them in? Like, what are you gonna do? But they're pirates for a reason, right? That's what pirates are known for taking stuff. But it was interesting to see how he like zoomed right past him after he told him like you never trust pirates. So I thought that was well played there. He got away, and the dude was just looking at them like, what just happened?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't think you don't have to be like a massive Star Wars fan to be able to tell that like his ship is like all jacked out and shit and whatnot. Yeah. Like it's obviously like souped up and all that shit. Mm-hmm. You get that vibe from it from jump. But no, so basically, I mean, and it closes out pretty quickly out from there. I have a little bit of an echo going, and it's just really soft, but it's enough that it's kind of bothered me a little bit. So basically, right from there, we end up with them once again. They're in the ship, they're flying and whatnot and everything. And once they escape the pirates, they head right over to, I guess it's Cal Amora, which is in the Mandalorian system. It's a planet. And as they pull in, Dijin explains to Grogu that this is a Mandalorian castle, and they pull up to this I guess if you could call it almost building or structure. And so Katie Sackhoff is there as her, as her character, or whatever, Bo Katan, Kryze, or whatever, whatnot, and all that. And Mando basically asks her, or says to her, hey, I'm ready to go fucking rock with you. You said you wanted to go retake Mandalore, whatnot, and everything, and at least go check it out and see if it's worth salvaging or whatever, whatnot. If if maybe these people are lying about the planet being devastated. And she's like, no, I've given up on that. It's stupid. You can go by. You should just go home or whatever, whatnot, and everything and all that. And basically flushes out the same conversation that he has with the armor, and he just continues to have, where he continues to explain that he wants to regain his status with the Mandalorian faith or whatever, whatnot. That's his goal. And kind of tries to test basically Bo Katan's nuts a little bit real quick and whatnot. Is calls her a pussy and whatnot and everything. And it's well, I'll just go there myself then. With fucking Baby Yoda. Why not? Yeah, let's get after it. And hey, I must admit too that the whole like deal where he teaches Baby Yoda stuff too, Grogu, like as they're going, he teaches them how to fly the stuff, the ship and all that, whatnot, and everything. Like he's all, it's really cute. It really is. It's neat how their relationship has like evolved over time. But so start with you, Nay. That last sort of section that, you know, before we get to the actual credits and the awesome fucking song they have in those end credits, man. I love that song. Whoever composed that song has some serious game. Or that track or that whatever you want to call it. But did you like the I guess the wrap up of the episode and whatnot and everything, as far as going to this Calamore or whatever and whatnot, and the dialogue that we get with with Katie Sackhoff's character?
Well, I think that the episode stopped at a decent at a decent scene. Like, you know how some episodes stop with like a major cliffhanger and you're like, no, I don't want to wait till the next episode to see what's going to happen next. But I think this one kind of stalled at a good pace. I think for it being the first episode, it had a good pace also. So and it was easy for me to digest, even as somebody first, coming into the show and kind of experiencing the world of the Mandalorian for myself. It was, I enjoyed myself, honestly, so.
Me too. And that's great. I'm glad you did. I really am.
And like you said, the soundtrack was really good too.
Oh, you really like that final song for the credits? It's good, right?
Yeah, I also like the end credit scenes when they have all the names up and like the visual in the background and stuff. Like it's kind of artsy, sort of.
Yeah, most definitely. No, you know what, Cyber? We talked about that before. You and I personally in private conversation that those end credits of the Mandalorian are really good. Boba Fett's were good too. Remember?
Some of them.
Yeah, but no, the Mandalorian ones are perfect. Like they're like the best. I love them. I don't know how much Favreau has to do with that, all that, whatnot, and everything. But what did you? I guess what were your thoughts on again that dialogue between Sackhoff's character and Dijin?
I honestly thought it was just very simple, very simplistic. I didn't think it was anything special, but at the same time, I didn't think it was anything horrible. I definitely thought it was just a decent way to end the episode itself and kind of give you some more Katie Sackhoff for those that are big Katie Sackhoff fans or those that enjoy that character. I don't care too much for her. I don't think she's anything that great. I think that she could have been played by several other actresses, but I definitely think that what she provided in that scene was okay, and it worked for that sequence. I love that they are using still a Naboo cruiser to be the Mandalorian ship. I think that's absolutely hilarious. So when it lands on the platform, it just looks so cool. But overall, I thought that end sequence was fine. I thought it was a good way of ending the episode, like Nay said, and I thought that it was decent. Not a bad way to end the episode.
No, good episode. You know what I mean? It's not always just because the ending of the episode is not like cliffhanger type shit or whatever, whatnot, doesn't mean that, I don't think that's always the undoing of an episode, right? Like, they started off the season really well. Jazz, wrap this up. What are your final thoughts on that? I think Cyber's right. I agree with him 100%. I think anybody could play that character that Katie Sackhoff plays on The Mandalorian and probably do the same job, if not better. I just think, I won't lie, though, when it comes to Battlestar Galactica, I don't think anybody could have been better as Starbuck than fucking Katie Sackhoff. That's me, though. But me and Jazz have always seen that shit. So, but Jazz, what did you think of the final, I guess, conversation and whatnot and everything? And then what do you think of, I guess, like the end credits? And do you like the end credit music and that track that they play? I'll pull up right now.
Honestly, I think she did a good job. I mean, it's just a short little scene. So what are you expecting? Like, regardless of who would have played her, it's just a scene of a disgruntled boss who no longer has employees, who's now just kind of sulking in their own piss and shit because of the fact that they don't have a fucking sword to lead their employees, basically. And that's why she's sulking and just like, fuck the world, fuck my life, fuck this. I have no beer, so I'm just gonna sulk and be pissy. And I think she did a good job. I mean, she basically plays the same character with the whole fuck my life, fuck you, and fuck that person over there, and fuck that person in the back type of attitude with every character she plays, even when she was, arm wrestling people in Battlestar Galactica, or was she playing spades or something? But anyway, still,
both.
She was doing both. Okay, I thought so. But basically, the scene was fine. It was short. It's sweet. We got to see what happened to her, and now we move on to the next thing. I mean, what else did you expect her to do other than be mad as fuck that she ain't got the sword after all that time, and all her people are just like, fuck you, bitch. You don't even pay my rent. Fuck you.
That's right. I'm glad you mentioned that. She does ask him about the sword, right? And he says, yeah, I've still got it. And that is important.
Yeah, and that's why she's like, well, you got it. Go lead them. Leave me the fuck alone, basically. In her empty ass kingdom,
For real. So, let me go ahead and just play this end credit thing and whatnot. Let's see what this is like and whatnot and everything. If this actually shows us what we're talking about and everything, so we can talk about it.
I also say this episode was a 10 out of 10 for me, and Baby Yoda hugging those little cute guys that were working on complaining about they couldn't work on the robot brought everything for me. And seeing the little Muppet people hanging in the trees was really cute, because you only really see them laughing their ass off like they're the old guys from the Muppets in the stand in Jabba's palace. So it was really cool to see them again.
So that's not the actual end credits, like end credits. That's a song. I love the song. I want to see if I can actually get the actual, like, from the episode. Let me see if they have it. I'm sure they will. Oh, maybe not. That's asking too much. Oh, episode 2 trailer. Hey, there we go. Oh, it's from Screen Culture.
No,
Oh,
thank you. Don't.
Oh, no. Okay.
No, they literally no. Just
We
don't
know what
ever.
we
click
know what
on
they
them.
are. Oh, look who
They
it is, folks.
literally are clickbaiters, and they do it all the time. They've
Cyber.
never actually ever had a trailer for anything that was actually real.
Look at this, baby. That's the algorithm at work. How about that, folks? We go to just search Mandalorian end credits for season 1 episode, and look, there we are. Look at that, and look whose thumbnail. Look who made that thumbnail. That's right, not me, baby. Nope. And that big 3, that actually indicates that the person who made it is at a 3-year-old level of thumbnail creation ability.
Bruh.
I'm just messing, and they made that, and she did a great job. I'm kidding. That's so much better. Cyber, in comparison, honestly, that thumbnail compared to the first couple ones I ever did, you tell me.
I'm biased.
Be honest. That's like Andor, and like my first shits were like below Willow.
I mean, anybody, it all depends on what you use, how you do it. Each person's going to have their own different version of how they do things. And, it's a decent thumbnail, most definitely, but I don't see it any better than what you've done.
Well, I think she did a great job, though. Bottom line, she's doing a great job. She's a hard worker, and she threw herself right in there and whatnot and everything on her own without any help or anything and whatnot, and she jammed it out. And that's why we're all on the, and look at us. Analytically, we're popping right up on YouTube and shit when you throw this up. There you go, baby.
I wasn't sure about the 3, how that would be received because it's in like neon rainbow color.
I like it.
The interesting thing is that when I watched the episode for the first time, I noticed that in the show, the Star Wars logo is in that neon type of rainbow color around the trimming. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I picked out that 3 in the thumbnail before watching the episode. So I guess it was meant to be.
Well, I just like it because it reminds me of threesomes. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I see a 3, I think of threesomes. So that's always a positive thought for me at all times.
Sir.
So it's a sexy thumbnail.
There you go. Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So Jazz already dropped her 10. I guess we're doing rating, Cyber. I'm gonna give it a
0.5 something.
No, I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
I knew it was a 0.5. It's always a 0.5.
There's nothing wrong with using a 0.5. It's not as easy to rate as always be able to make it a 9 or an 8 or 7. It doesn't work that way. Cyber, what do you got?
Mine. I give it 10.
Okay. Nao.
I'll give it 10. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy the catching up to where it is right now. But for my first episode watching it as someone not familiar with the show, I think I had a good time watching it. I was entertained, so I give it a 10.
You're wasting all your 10 so early in the season, in the series.
10,
I'm serious. 10. What the fuck, man? You gotta be conservative. You gotta be conservative with this shit a little bit and whatnot. Like seriously, it's the first episode. You don't know what's gonna happen in episode 2. Like
it's a good first impression for me.
Be conservative of your 10.
Once again, it is all speculative. It's all opinion based. So each person, a different person, can each think that each episode's a 10. So just because you use a 10 right away doesn't mean you can't use a 10 every single episode.
Yeah.
So it's speculative.
Most definitely.
Not him over here using dictionary
would
words.
make some more dirty faces and dirty looks and shit. Like that, I could give it a 6.5.
She's got a whole series to give. Tons of dirty faces coming up.
Well, we've only gotten 17,000 different scowls so far. So I mean,
I mean, I will give it. If I had to score it, it'd be a 5 for me because, like I said, it's had its moments, but for the most part, like I said, it's been blah.
Well, listen, I would have given it a 7.5 if when Echo's dad died, if instead of reaching up for her face to touch her or whatever, he reached out and grabbed her titty. That would have been dope.
See, this show has so many
makes sense.
homages to that Matt Fraction comic, and that's what I love most about it. I mean, that car chase scene were like ripped from the panels of that comic, and the whole Lucky the Pizza Dog. I mean, there's just so much good stuff. How do you not love the tracksuits? They're talking about they're going over the greatest suit wearers of all time. Tony Soprano, Ron DMC.
Wait a minute.
I left. I actually got up at 2 a.m. to watch this, and I was laughing so hard.
Garner, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. We've been talking on the podcast of Champions, a good friend of the Bleeding Edge, lately on Saturdays. God, Cyber, where were you that night, man?
I don't remember.
I can't be. I'm trying to think what the hell reason you would have not been there for a Hawkeye episode review.
What episode was that? Episode 3?
I think it was episode 3. Yeah, wasn't that the one where was that episode 2 or episode 3 where Echo's father dies and shit and all that?
Let me look this up. Hold on. Okay.
Oh no.
Let me see here.
Oh, this is actually a good time, folks, to go ahead and plug the fact that, well, for one thing, The Last of Us reviews, we got 3 of them left. We got episode 7, 8, and 9. And yours truly, the whole group here, the whole team that you're seeing right here on the squad, the whole squad, hopefully we'll be able to ride out all 3 of those last 3. And we're doing them on Fridays. We switched over. So we're on Fridays at 9:35 p.m. Eastern, 6:35 p.m. Pacific. We're rocking out. I think Andrew's going to come on. Jasmine's BFF boyfriend / partner / I don't know, sub dom bottom top. What is I'm not sure, Jazz. We'll have to talk about that in the studio after the show. But anyways, Andrew's gonna come on, and Sunday we're gonna be Jasmine. I think is gonna be back on with me. I think Andrew is too, and we're gonna finally try to wrap up and just finalize and knock out Echo Disney Plus series going into Daredevil Born Again. So we can move on and get prepared for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is going to, before you know it, it's going to come right out. Before you know it, bam, it's going to be time to watch that shit. After Ant-Man 3, I think when does Guardians come out? Cyber?
May.
Okay. See, hey, the same time that me and Cyber are going to see fucking Bandmate, bitch.
It's
What's
the
up with
first
that?
week. It's the first weekend of May.
There you go. That's gonna be a good month for me and Cyber. Bandmate and Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, good Bandmate for you, sir. I'll be there for the other bands.
Oh, whatever, man. I'll tell you right now, if you come down here and hang out with me and shit and whatnot, and you ditch me when I go to watch Bandmate and shit, I'm gonna be pissed.
Why would I ditch you, man?
I'm just messing with you. I know you wouldn't. Jasmine would, but not you. You wouldn't do it to me. So, anyways, folks, but no. So that's what we got going on. We got 3 more episodes of The Last of Us on the Fridays. We're gonna rock out on Wednesdays, all the way through Mandalorian, and then Secret Invasion. I guess this continues to fluctuate, but now they're saying that basically it is going to come out, I believe, in like early to mid-April is what we're going to see it, and then we'll get What If, I believe, after that. And then Jazz, what have you been hearing? I'm hearing What If, and then after that, obviously we heard Alka Cox say that Echo is going to come out in October, right? So we're going to get Loki season 2 after What If, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I've stayed kind of out of it when it came to information at this point, but I can look up real quick and bring it on.
No. I know they wanted to squeeze Ironheart in, didn't they, Cyber, this year? So I'm just wondering if they can pull off 5 Disney Plus. Doesn't that kind of go against what Iger said they were going to be doing or whatever and whatnot? And Feige, that they were going to try to cut down and cut back on the Disney Plus series?
Echo has been all over the place for when it's supposed to come out. They keep changing what they're saying about it. Some people say back. It's supposed to be next year. Then they said it's coming back this year.
Alka Cox came out on Twitter. She tweeted and said that she can't wait for October. Hint, hint. Like if it's coming off in October and like it's going to wrap up the year, and then that would give us Daredevil Born Again in 2024 to start off the year.
Yeah, so I honestly don't know at this point.
Until
they show a freaking teaser, until they show an actual poster, we won't know. No,
the only thing we know for sure is that we're going to get the Marvels and then we're going to get Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We're going to get Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, and the Marvels got pushed to November.
It did too. That's right. That just happened too.
Echo and Ironheart are delayed until 2024 is what I'm getting.
Yes. Yeah.
See
Well, I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
yeah. See, it's all over the place. This is what I was talking about when I told you.
It's probably
Cyber-
because they're trying to remember they're listening to the fans and they're trying to rework their line of because they're also getting ownership of properties from other, from Fox and from Netflix, and they're trying to work with whatever they get. So they're basically just trying to get everything in line, get everything set up, because maybe Echo takes place after something else and they just need to redo it, kind of like they did with WandaVision during the pandemic. You never know what's going on. There could be stuff going on behind the scenes with actors.
We know we're going to get Secret Invasion. We know we're going to do Secret Invasion. So at some point soon, we'll be doing Secret Invasion. And at that point, if we're still doing the Mandalorian at that point, then we'll just move it over to Friday, or we'll do it on Sundays or something like that until we can move it back over to Wednesdays, like we usually do with our Marvel, Disney Plus stuff. And Naomi will be there. Nay, I'm trying to use to this new name she threw at me today. She'll be there. Jasmine will be there. Cyber will be there. Cyber's going to be moderating our episode 2 of The Mandalorian this week. And of course, like I said, Jasmine will be there on Sunday. Maybe I can even convince Nay to come on Sunday to see if she's down or not. But besides that, we've been doing DC animated film reviews. I'm sure we're going to be doing some more of them. And on top of that, folks, if there's anything out there that you think that we should cover, just let us know. Like, reach out to us. We're not hard to find. Let us know if there's something TV series you think we should cover. We'll cover it. As long as it's as good as Willow, we'll definitely do it. We're down, right? It's got to be at Willow level though. So what's the deal with Rings of Power, Cyber? Are they going to fucking even do Rings of Power season 2?
I haven't heard anything, and I haven't read anything yet. So I'm sure it'll probably be, if they do, it'll probably be at least a year or two before we see it, because of how expensive it is to make. That's
right. And House of the Dragon, we're not going to get until 2025 or something like that, I think. Yeah, I think or the end of 2024. Yeah, literally, that's how long it's going to be. So it was fun reviewing that shit, but it's going to be a while before we get that. So in the meantime, we need something. We need some TV series to cover, folks. Maybe we should. Did Halo get a season 2? Does anybody know? Cyber, did they greenlight a season 2 for Halo?
I don't think they're getting a season 2 for Halo now, because originally I think that it was, but then because how poorly it did, I think it got axed, especially with the merger.
Oh, well, you know what? Let's get out of here, folks. But Jazz, Nay, if you guys want to talk about what you guys are doing right now, this whole Jazz, if you want to unload this fucking whole new phase, you're doing phase 6 of the MCU and shit with your personal content now that I hooked you up with Nay. Oh, and Sabra, I managed to connect that with Sally the MCU girl too. So just wait till the 3 of these fuckers end up combined. This shit could be interesting.
Far, we are working on phase 1. We just finished watching Captain America, which I'm editing right now. But next up we have Peggy Carter. But looks like, from what I hear, we can just watch the short. They shortened it, so we don't have to watch the whole show. So we can just watch the Carter short if you don't want to watch the show. I mean, the show's good. I enjoy it. But it's up to you. But that's pretty much what we have going on next is the Carter TV show.
I think you should do it. Sally, the MCU girl, loves it. She loves Peggy Carter. That's her favorite character. So if you want to mix it up with her, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, she'd be a good addition. I think she'd actually be a good fit with you and Nay.
Well, I'm on your time, Jasmine. So you let me know.
Yeah, I'm on your time. What do you mean? I'm working around your schedule.
Well, I'm down for whatever. So
I plan on joining in on this too. I'm sure that you guys can probably lure Cyber to come over and do some of these, Jazz. I'm sure as you ask Cyber nicely, I'm sure he'll come over and react with you too and whatnot and everything. Right, Cyber?
Maybe.
You'll do some Peggy Carter episodes.
Not a flat out maybe.
Oh, Cyber, you're so cold.
I'm honest.
So cold, Cyber.
Not cold. It's being logic. It's being smart. Being
we know.
It is what it is.
I
We
know,
love you,
baby.
Cyber. The truth
We love you,
shall
Cyber.
set you free, and you stay free. Good.
That's right. We do love Cyber over here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. So we love him so much. Look, I pulled up his shit and everything and whatnot, all silent style and shit, right? Even without
Silent style.
Look at that, secret agent, baby. I stuck it in
Secret
there.
agent, man.
There you go. That's how you do it, baby.
Oh yeah,
Like a king. I served it right up to you.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. All right, people. So, if you will join me here on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, definitely check out my solo content.
576, motherfucker.
I'm up. Yeah, I'm up to 576. So we're getting close to the 600 mark. So thank you for everyone that keeps subscribing. You guys are rocking. And of course, as you can see there, you know, my most latest is Knock at the Cabin and Avatar: The Way of Water reviews are up. Like I said, I'll be having some more reviews up and stuff like that. I'll be going to see, hopefully, this weekend, finally going to see Cocaine Bear and then see Creed 3. So those reviews will be up soon. And then, yeah, keep your eyes out for any new trailer reviews I'll be doing too. I'll be doing one for the upcoming Peter and Wendy film that's going to be coming out this year in April for Disney Plus. I'll also be seeing a review, a trailer reaction for a couple other upcoming films as well. And as you can see there in my little shorts there, the shorts are really where everyone is at here. As you can see, look at that cruise review there. Did that this morning, 1.2 thousand views. So you guys are rocking it on the shorts, guys. So thank you for watching. And yeah, it's been fun. So yeah, keep trekking.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. My penis after Shield episode 7 is actually 1.2 centimeters long.
That's right.
There you go. So it's actually it correlates. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's connective tissue, baby, which we're all about. Really quick, you know, well, I forget. Would you ladies please let me know, Jazz? What are you calling your YouTube channel these days? What weird combination of letters are we going with? I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry. What is it called? Is it Jazzy?
Here, I'll send it to the thing and you can look it up.
Hey, I drink a lot, man. What do you want me to say? I'm fucked up. I'm fucking stoned. What do you want me to tell you? Try my best here. It's tough being a Tuscan translator.
But it's Jazzy Nerdy Girl Reacts. Most people, until I, you know, put up a new video using the new name, it's still going to be YouTube Now 03 when you have to search it in the search engine. But for the most part, it's Jazzy Nerdy Girl Reacts. And I already put up the new, you know, we already have a new thumbnail, which is really cute. I thought so. Woo. And the video will be on both our channels.
Woo! Oh shit! Oh man, Jazz, that's good. I like it. You actually have some content. So, and then of course, did you change your title already, Naomi?
No, there isn't anything much new at all from the last time, but it's
okay.
It should be react and recap or something like that.
It's
still trying
react
to
and
figure
recap.
it out, but you know, like you said, I'm new to this.
We're gonna put some content on that bitch. Don't worry. All right, folks. Well, unless anybody else has any last thoughts or anything and whatnot, I mean, I pretty much think we killed the review. You know, I don't think you can do any better. We appreciate all of you out there and whatnot and everything. Please subscribe to all of you know, my co-hosts and my guests individual content. I mean, Nay and Jazz are you know, are kind of like, Jazz is rebranding. They get started off, but they need support. Cyberneticshark, I'm glad to see it at 576. I want to see that bitch get to 1,000. So, you know what I'm saying? I already said, like, you know, y'all get him to 1,000 by next month, or I'm gonna have to suck some dick. So I'm gonna have to start.
Don't subscribe. I need to see this video. Just to get
to 1,000 subscribers. Let me give it head. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
good.
All right, now let's go. Help me out.
Subscribe, people, please. I don't want to see that video.
You know what I'm saying? You know how hard it is to give head when you're wearing your Tuscan Raider fucking headpiece and everything and whatnot. It's just difficult.
Start working that muscle, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
That beekeeper Snoop.
It's hard to give you your A head game when you got that shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It fucks you up a little bit. You get dropped down to that level where you're a skin max like blowjob level now. You know, like softcore.
Work that muscle, sir. Work that muscle.
All right. Anyways, folks, we love all of you. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Are going to take off.
Some of them going to bomb.
Just like they've bombed in the comics.
What about this guy? You think this guy can make it for the Avengers?
Diamond Days, a ninja teaching flex. I didn't let me see the sign there. Come on in here, ninja. Here's my ninja. Diamond Days Ninja School. Come on down. What we're going to teach you, hold that, Lord. What we're going to teach you in our first episode is a proper stance and a proper kung fu. And you got your Judy chop, all right? You got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop. Now, what smart thing to do is like when you use a judo chopping, you gotta say it, for you beginners, like a Judy chop. Because what you don't want to do is like be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking, and there goes your leg. There ain't much hauling for a one-legged ninja out there. Right there, hard as a rock, buddy. Let me show you something. I'll have last time, baby. Don't put it in front of your face. I don't want to hurt you. But you got me? What we're going to do here, we're going to work on the ninja chops. What we're going to do. You go a ninja chop. Well, now see, now sometimes it don't always work for a ninja. But it practice makes it perfect. Don't go ninja nobody. Don't need ninja. Alrighty? Now, them things there, if I was put them in my pockets, they'd get me for concealment of a deadly weapons. They say you got your son fella coming at you out in the trailer park. Regular cannon-backer, you say? No, says I. Watch this, people. Yeah, we just rolling through the trailer park. What's that? What's that fella doing? Ninja start. Right there. That son fella jumps up behind a trailer on you. You got to put them on out yonder like that. And you can't get him caught up in your ninja outfit, And like if a feller's coming at you with
Dude, that guy lived right next door to me, man.
What the hell was that weapon he pulled out there, DM? Was that a crack pipe? Like,
it looked like a damn skull can or something, didn't it?
Where did you find that?
That guy that he sent that in, that is his interview tape for the Special Olympics Avengers.
That dude don't stand a prayer.
Oh,
that dude.
It's amazing that something like that dude's probably popular as hell from that video.
Dude, that guy could beat Kate Bishop's ass.
Alpha Flight will whoop his ass. Puck will whoop his ass. Ninja chopping, man. Puck will whoop his ass. North Star beat his ass, and that's bad.
I was watching Andrew during that. Andrew just like put his head back and he's like, "Oh man,
hell, man."
I'm a bad bitch every day of the week. If I hop up on the mic, they gon' play it on repeat. Cash 100 milli check, I get paid just to breathe. Kill it 24/7, cause I slay in my sleep. Flames pipe down when I